Hello, everybody. Oh, we're live. Thank you for joining me. I know what you're thinking. What kind of a coach are you? Eating hot Cheetos and drinking a beer? Well, first of all, it's Friday. Second of all, you can check out my last episode, which had to do with Flaming Hot Cheetos, episode 96, earlier today, live here on Fireside. And then, second is to also not a registered dietitian or a licensed nutritionist. You shouldn't take advice from a personal trainer or a coach. When it comes to food, you should seek out a professional. Second is to shamelessly plug my other podcast that I have here live on Fireside called Drunks. Because I mean, really, what is the point of having your own podcast if you can't plug your own products and shows shamelessly? So this upcoming 18th, which is tax day here in the United States, April 22nd at 7 p.m. Pacific time zone, me and co-host Ty are going to be reviewing. Let me see if I could look it up on the other one, but it is called Rescue, and it is a local brewery here in Southern California. Basically, we believe that you should be able to earn your beer. That means work out in some form or fashion. Then, if you can find the beer, come up, have a beer with us. Let us know what you think, and we do that every 2 weeks. So the time after that, we will be doing it on May 2nd, and that'll be our special Cinco de Drinko episode, which we will be reviewing Mexican beer. And we know that you can pretty much find that everywhere. So we hope you can join us, tell us about your walk, your run, your yoga, your weightlifting, and have a beer with us and let us know, if you like it with salt, if you like it with lime, things like that. And today we're going to be talking about compression socks. If you don't know what compression socks are, they are basically these right here. And I'll go more into detail as the show goes on. But as I mentioned, and here on my iPad, for those of you watching here live on Fireside or Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, appreciate it. I can show you a picture of me running. This is the Ravel Marathon. And this is me finishing Santa Clarita Marathon. And I have long compression socks. So I tried it. I tried the hype to see. I've completed 56 marathons. To me, they don't work, and we'll get into that more. As I mentioned, I'm gonna shamelessly plug away. Who doesn't like bling? I love bling. So here's a couple bling medals that I received or earned for the OC Marathon, which is the Orange County Marathon here in California. So I'm an ambassador for the OC Marathon this year. If you happen to be in the California area, here April 29th through May 1st, on the 29th, which is Friday, you can go get your bib pickup at the OC Fairground. And if you use discount code Ray Runs 10, you can get 10% off on the 5K, the kids run, the half marathon, or the marathon. Then at the end, they have live music, so you can come celebrate with me completing my 57th marathon at this upcoming 2 weeks away OC Marathon. On Saturday, they have the kids run. Kids, they call it 5K, but I don't really know if they do the whole 5K. And then you can also go get your bib that day as well. Then they have the regular 5K at 5 p.m. And then the next day at 5:30 in the morning is the marathon. So I'll be up super early that day. And then after, I think maybe like 6:30, I believe, is that the half marathon. And for the 4 following races that I mentioned, you can get 10% off by using discount code RayRuns10 for the OC Marathon. Hope to see you there. Now moving on to compression socks. As I was researching this, I've had these for years, and so I've been running for 16 years, so I've had these for a while, and I don't wear them that often because I bought them kind of just to see if they work or not. And after trying them a couple times, to me, they don't really make any difference. So I decided just to keep them. From what I've learned, the better they fit, the more effective they are. So these are still rather tight. You want them tight from the ankles. It's supposed to help with blood circulation. But what I'm saying is in general, because also as I researched it, there seems to be all kinds of other types of compression socks. And if you not speaking in general, but if you have some sort of like underlying medical issue, you definitely want to see your doctor or some sort of vascular specialist, because socks are definitely not going to be the answer if you have a major issue. But besides that, if you wear the socks, don't wear them because you think you're going to become faster with them or get better performance, reduce fatigue, or get an edge, or help in recovery. A lot of these people tell you that, but it's really, I'm going to say maybe 9 out of 10, because they're trying to sell you their product. Now, these socks range from maybe, I don't know, I think I've seen them for $20 all the way past $100. So, of course, and then there's also medical grade, which that's, as I mentioned, if you have some sort of major issue, go speak to your doctor. Me, the socks that I really, really enjoy is the ones that say left and right. For those of you not watching, they basically tell you on your foot. They're marked on the sock. That way you don't make a mistake when you're putting on the sock. I've been saying this for years, but I think it's time I double check. But one of the greatest coaches out there, which is in basketball, uh, Wooden, John Wooden. One of the first things he would teach his basketball players is how to put on your socks. Because if you don't know how to put on your socks, what it does is it can cause blisters. And that's one of the things that I used to get a lot when I ran, or I still run. For example, today I did 6 miles, right in between my other episode 96, the Hot Cheetos Conspiracy. Be sure to check it out here live on Fireside. It'll be out later in podcast, available everywhere. And then as I mentioned, we're talking about socks, how to use them, compression socks. To me, this left-right sock helped a lot more than anything, because it ensures that you put on your sock the same way each time, which helps avoid blisters. Because as far as soreness and everything else, some of these studies were like people who run on treadmills. Guess what? I don't run on treadmills. Does that apply to me? Does that study even have anything to do with me? No. And everything is individual. We're all individual. I don't really believe in one size fits all. We all, that's why if you want to do any sort of plan with me, everything is customized. You can go to my website, and there's not much information that I give, because I don't do cookie cutter, workouts. It's all customized. So, if you do buy compression socks, in my opinion, you buy them because, you like the fashion. They come in a lot of colors, a lot of variety. You find them comfortable, and, having comfortable feet definitely helps, especially if you're going to be putting on the miles. The other thing is because they keep you warm, and that's another great reason for you to get them. I would say above all, it's because you believe they work, and if you believe they work, it's a placebo effect. They will work. And the other reason, I would say main reason as well, is because they make you happy. So if you buying these socks make you happy, then go ahead and buy them. But don't think you're going to become like minutes or even seconds faster because you have these expensive socks, which some of these socks cost you like $80, and they guarantee to give you no blisters. And there's all kinds of alternatives for you to try and get or avoid blisters. One of them is, for example, get a half size bigger on your shoe, or up to a size. It all depends. This is, as I mentioned, general information. I know people that get smaller shoes, or like half or with exact, and they're able to finish marathons. But in general, this is just general information. Sounds like a wolf around here. That's so interesting, because they do come around here. I'm coming to you live from Azusa, California, where I would say the most famous person to come out of here is Tony Robbins. So you hear that, Tony Robbins? Acknowledge me. I'm coming for you. I got that from Roman Reigns, WWE. If anybody watched that wrestling, it was like a 2-day event. Growing up, big fan. So I try to watch it just to see what it does or how it is, if it's entertaining. I got to say, Roman Reigns has come a long way to be able to cut a promo. I would like to see him and The Rock go at it one day before the career ends. And yeah, you let me know. Let me know. Send me a message on YouTube or on Spotify and let me know. Do you like compression socks? Do you feel that they help? Do you feel, that there's any benefit? In jiu-jitsu, we use spats, tights. They're basically like kind of like, yeah, they're spats basically. Uh, and we wear them, but we don't wear them because of any sort of, or at least I haven't hear that airplane. It's so, or maybe I hear it because with this microphone, it's so sensitive and you guys don't, but I hear an airplane. Anyways, we wear these spats because we don't want our opponent to be able to grab us easily. The more they have to grab, the more they can, use it to control us. So our tights are tight. They're tight spats. You don't want them all loose and baggy. But I've never heard anyone in jiu-jitsu say, "Oh yes, we use them because it helps with the blood flow. It helps with recovery." And yes, I've used the socks, the compression socks during the whole marathon, back to back marathons, I believe. And also, I've used them for recovery because, you know, pre marathon and post marathon. And, there's studies of them making aware marathoners the socks for 48 hours or 4 hours after they're done. And there's just not enough evidence. And no one has been able to show me. I didn't come across any articles. I'll post some of what I looked into on the show notes. That way you guys can check it out. Because I say don't believe me, do your own research, find it out for yourself. And it's been a while since I would say compression socks have been popular or like a demand for anything like that. But fats come and go, just like in the I think 70s, probably wrong, but possibly in the 70s, basketball players, maybe early 80s, basketball players wearing the short shorts with the long basketball socks. That's pretty much, if you're not watching this, what compression socks are. Or if back in the gangster era days, the cholos with the long socks. Or if you've seen Rocky, I believe it's Rocky 3, where they're running on the beach and Apollo and Rocky Balboa have those long socks with the two stripes. That's pretty much kind of like a compression socks, but they're supposed to be made more tight on the ankle part. And as I mentioned, I've seen all kinds of like just marketing gimmicks to try and get you to buy more things. And my true opinion is forget the socks, work on your feet, work on your muscles, work on your flexibility, and go on my Instagram, Coach Ray Z. Check out the 3 stretches that you must be doing: the wall stretch, the couch stretch, and the pigeon stretch, which I like to do elevated. Do those instead of buying socks, instead of buying like more foamy shoes. I 1000% recommend, doing the opposite of what you typically do to strengthen those muscles. Walking backwards. Look at this is all information that I paid like hundreds of dollars for in, through coaching. So, I take advantage of what I'm just basically dropping knowledge, dropping the nuggets, dropping you information that's like I paid a lot of money for. So walk backwards, because think about how much time you spend going forwards. Walk backwards. Do it for a warm up. If you have a sled, even better. Do that like at least 5 minutes without any weight, and then 10, and then another 5 minutes with the weight. Work on your tibialis. If you have a slant board, don't know what it is, look into it. I definitely got to look into manufacturing my own. So if you guys want to support me athletic definition, I would definitely appreciate that. As it is, I appreciate everyone tuning in as the podcast gets more and more downloads. If you enjoy the content that I do, be sure to tell a friend, share it, follow me on all my social media platforms. I need support on Twitch. I got a follower. Thank you, whoever you are. Also, athletic definition TikTok needs support. And if you want to participate in the show, be sure, and for ISO only for now, be sure to download Fireside. Request access. If you know me, reach out to me. I'd love for you to be a guest in the audience and participate in the show. And I know a lot of people are like, well, until you see the app or until we get to hang out and I can actually physically show you, you get to be in the audience, a virtual audience, and then you get to come up and I get to have up to 4 people on camera and we get to just conversate and we get to talk about pretty much anything we want. So it's a great platform where if you disagree with me, you can come up here and tell me, hey, I disagree with you because of this. And I think that the compression socks do work and I've used them for this. And this is how it helped me. Or for any other subject that I touch. This is my 97th episode here live on Fireside. Actually, it's my 98th, but that as far as I release for episodes, it's 97. So thank you everybody for the support. I try to come with different guests. So next Friday, I will be having a guest. Um, just a guy with a dream, single parent, graduate. He's a nurse now and also a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Pretty much all my guests have to do with sports, working out, and you don't have to be a superstar to be on my show. It's just basically I'm fascinated by the story, what drives people, why they do it. I've met so many interesting, inspiring people through my journeys of boxing and jiu-jitsu and playing basketball and running marathons, and to be able to share with people with a platform like Fireside where it's interactive and people still don't understand. It's probably like when the first drive-through got created and like, hey, I went through In and Out and have a drive-through. You're like, oh, okay, that's great. But you don't really know what a drive-through is. And then as time goes on, people are like, oh, I know what a drive-through is because everyone else started copying it, like McDonald's and Burger King. And right now, Fireside, that's where they're at. They're like trailblazing. They're creating things that people are still like, oh, what? Oh, when they listen to it, they're like, this is live. So when you listen to it, don't be so harsh. I don't really edit anything. I just kind of go live. When I do edit, I try and add more things to make it more entertaining. So if you do go to Spotify, because they gave me early access to video, or YouTube, and you see the edited version of this, let me know what you think. I think my editing has been getting better. I try and add a bunch of complimentary pics of what I'm talking about. And as I mentioned, I know I make mistakes because I go back. And so if I catch a mistake and I have time, I try and edit the mistake on the video and let you know the correction of who it is, who really said it, because I know I said something about vegans and spinach and something else, and I know for the hardcore, you guys would be all upset. But I don't really use too many notes. I just try and freestyle. I do a lot of research on the topic, and pretty much everything I talk about is I'm passionate about. I've completed 56 marathons, blue belt in jiu-jitsu, have done boxing, still play basketball, and um, pretty much have done everything. But I would say those are the major things that I work out on. And I just try and encourage people to, you know, find something that motivates you to move, to stay active. It doesn't really matter what it is. A lot of people that I know that they get into almost like cult like mentalities, like, and then there's some funny memes about it, like when you go to a party and you try to talk to a non-runner about something that's not running, and all they talk to you about is like how fast you run your mile and things like that. Or I've seen some really funny jujitsu ones. Um, Speaking of jiu-jitsu, I'm really excited. It's been so long because the whole pandemic since I've been able to compete. I think I might compete at the end of May if I could get enough training in. I feel you need at least minimum 3 days, and things are looking brighter and brighter for me to be able to train more. For those of you just in the audience or who don't know too much about my story, I had my Cadillac converter stolen last year, and that pretty much left me carless. So I've been still training. I've lost some clients because of that. I still have some online, um, and it's been an interesting journey. But I'm close to getting a car again, and I'm looking forward to be able to train more. If I can get the car at least by the end of the month, then I'm definitely going to do the tournament. The tournament is in jiu-jitsu you could do time limit or points or just submission only. Submission means is you tap out, you quit. And the points is you could, oh, someone got taken down, you earn points, and so on, which I find a little bit boring, not as impressive as submission. A lot of times with points, people get up on points and they stall, meaning they don't do anything because they just want to let the time run out and win. In this competition, which would be at the Fitness Expo here in Los Angeles, and it's a great variety. I've been going to it for years. They have like kickboxing, bodybuilding competitions, fit couple competitions, jujitsu competitions, bunch of free samples. You can meet MMA fighters there. I met like John Jones, Chuck Liddell, geez, Randy Orton, going old school. Randy Orton, he's from WWE. Randy Couture, my bad. Randy Couture. Let's see here. Um, Matt Sierra. I got to meet like two of the Gracies there, which was very cool. Tito Ortiz. Just I could go on and on. So it's just like a fun thing. So if you want to go and check it out, once I confirm the registration, I'll let you know. You can go and you get in for $10 because normally it's more. It's like a 2 day event, and they have a little bit of everything. I mean, I remember going there and trying out for the American Gladiators TV show the second time when it was like Layla Ali and Hulk Hogan hosting it. I went out and I attempted to get on there. I attempted to get on so many TV shows. Just if it's a competition, that's what I'm about. Just having fun, trying to compete. It wasn't until going to all these competitions that I realized I don't really have a lot of athletic ability. I don't really have like this natural strength or speed like a lot of these guys. It wasn't until I met one of my friends who he basically became a major league baseball player, and he got hurt, and he went to surgery and everything else, and after that he was still like fast and strong, and he could do everything just amazingly. And I'm like, man, if at that level they cut him, then I've thought too highly of my athletic ability, and that's when you start realizing it. But my passion for working out for athletics is so strong that even if you're not the most gifted, as I mentioned before, everyone's going to have their own opinion of what an athlete is. And regardless of what they think, you're an athlete. If you go out and you work out, if you go for a walk, just keep moving. Don't let people discourage you. Keep training. I've completed, I think, at this point, it had been at least 30 marathons. And some people were like, well, you're not even a runner. You're not even a real runner because of this, or, you're not a runner because of that. And then I'm a blue belt in jujitsu, and people are like, well, you're not really like a jujitsu guy because of this or that. And everyone's going to have their own opinion. Let them have their own opinion. You do you. You go for what you want. And working out is one of the best things that you can do, especially if you're depressed. And that's probably like the major thing that it helped me with. I've always enjoyed working out. I've always enjoyed playing. In school, I was never picked on a team or anything like that. I was too shy in high school to really even get considered to start. And I wouldn't say, like I said, I wasn't very athletic. It's just all the training that I've done. Um, in jujitsu, I don't even say it's me or my skill. It's jujitsu. It just will make anybody uh, good. In basketball, I've just been playing it for so many years. Out of everything, I probably wanted to play football the most, and then I did wanted to box the most. But boxing, I probably did the longest and was probably the least worst at, or the worst at, which is probably better because you take a beating, and your brain hurts. That is a tough sport. And then I just discovered jujitsu, and I'm really happy with it. It challenges your mind, your body. People in this day and age are always like, "Oh, I just don't know how to be present." Well, when someone's trying to choke you out and you can't breathe, and a guy or a girl who outweighs you by 100 pounds is really just trying to technically murder you, all in good fun and sportsmanship, and they'll release you as soon as you tap. There's nothing like being present, like that moment. You're definitely not thinking about, well, I need to cook dinner, or tomorrow I got a presentation, or my girlfriend's mad at me, my wife is mad at me. You're just present in the moment. How can I breathe? How could I get out of this because they're going to break my arm if I don't move. So, if anyone's listening, Jiu-Jitsu, it's great. I love it. Getting back to the compression socks to close it out. Yeah, reach out to me, leave me a comment, tell me if you love compression socks. If you're a compression socks company and you think you just have like the best compression socks ever, let me know. Reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to try on your compression socks, and I'll do a marathon with them, or I'll use them for training, and I'll do a review. But as far as I'm concerned, out of all the marathons I've done and compression socks I've worn, they don't do any use. They're basically like, if you have some sort of pain, putting on a Band-Aid. What you really want to do is get to the root of the issue and work out on your feet, your legs, your calves, and the muscles and the joints and everything else that we typically ignore. And to me, that is better than spending over $100 on a pair of compression socks. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. This has been Athletic Definition, episode 97, plugging away to number 100. This is Coach Ray Z.